All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chris's Sports Corner. Real quick, man. Hope everybody's doing great, man. So I'm apologizing to you guys because the last video I did, like I said, man, I got the new setup. And I'm still working out the kinks. So apparently the video, and it sounded good pre-post, and then I don't know what happened. No excuses. We're gonna redo it, baby. All right. So first of all, let me say thank everyone that supports the channel, man. You guys mean so much to me, and I'm gonna ask you if you like this type of content and you haven't subscribed already, feel free, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and continue to support the channel, man. All right. So let's talk about it. The Los Angeles Lakers versus the Atlanta Hawks. Now, the Atlanta Hawks is a team. I'm gonna be honest. Really, really freaking makes me nervous. The reason why is because they're a young team that they play hard. They're gonna play, give you 110%, and Trey Young can light them up. I mean, he had another logo three tonight. He can really light them up. And this is the thing too about Trey Young. And if you're a fan of Trey Young, you're like, this guy, man, he's the guy. But if you're not a fan of Trey Young, or even if you're a fan, but he playing against your team that night, this guy ability to create fouls. Oh my god! I'm like, yo, like he's great at it, and this is no knock because you got to find a way. You got to find your way of balling. And Trey Young can create some fouls. Let me tell you. And I got to be honest, man. Sometimes you're like, oh come on, guy. Like, oh come on, man. It's like, that wasn't a foul. Or he initiated it. But hey, he good at what he do, man. So hats off to him. Speaking of foul, I got to get this off my chest too. Now we all know LeBron James complain about fouls, and it's so big, and I understand it to an extent. But sometimes I feel like just get back down the court on the other side, man. Just get on back down the court. Because, and for one, I think that become infectious. Now, if you do it every time, your teammates see it, they gonna do it every time. And like, if I'm tired of seeing, it's like nobody ever created a foul and everybody's always fouled. Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, come on. Sometimes, every now and then, I don't know about no one else, but I get a breath of fresh air when I see a player just go, I did it. I'm like, yes, thank you. No arguing this time. Anyway, but that's beside the point. But let's talk about it, man, because I'm gonna tell you someone for the Atlanta Hawks that really stood out to me tonight, and I've been a fan of this guy, Clint Capela. He looks at home in Atlanta, man, and he, even though his points, he was 8 of 11 for 16 points, which is pretty good. But his impact and the way that he would kind of force the Lakers to play, especially on the inside, he was trouble for the Lakers. Meaning his defense was really troubling for them. They had to make the extra pass, and if they was late on their rotation, he made them punish. He punished them for it, as he should do. So hats off to that guy. Another player I was interested. He only played 15 minutes tonight, but Rondo is one of those guys, man. Who, excuse me, Rondo is one of those guys that if you get him going, or he got a reason to really come out and ball, he's gonna do his thing. And tonight, I was afraid of him having a vintage Rondo type of game. He didn't. He had 5 points on 2 or 2 shooting. He didn't kill it, but he's one of those people that you can like. All right, be careful because Rondo can go off on you. Um, but he did he played, but it wasn't nothing crazy. Um, Trey Young had 25. Collins, who was another young stud, 22. Like I said, Capella had 18. I'm sorry, 16. And you know, hey, the Hawks are real, man. I think they 500 right now, but they're steady building. Any team with Rondo in the playoffs, you got to expect them to really be coming. So it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. All right, let's talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, man. Now let me say this off the rip. There's one guy on this Los Angeles Lakers team that I just show I'm a fan of, man. I don't know no other way to say it. I'm a fan of, and I'm talking about Alex Caruso, also known as the Caruso. This guy, man, he plays so passionate. He plays so hard. He give you 110% game in and game out. Now, his shots might not be falling all the time. How many points did he have tonight? Caruso had only 8 points. But he led the team in the proficiency rating, the plus minus thing. He was plus 13. He led the team. That says a lot because you look, he had 8 points, but also had 2 steals, 2 assists, 4 7 from the field. And when you look at the way he plays, it's exactly what the Lakers need sometimes. You know what? I think the Lakers. Everybody talk about, oh, this is their depth lineup, and this is their closing. I think they need a hustle lineup. Give me this is my Lakers hustle lineup: Caruso, Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, who else? I say give me Horton Tucker, and let's say we go with Kuzma. And I know that probably gonna make sense in position. I'm just looking at it and going, yo, these guys, you will get the maximum effort. They should have, at some point in like early in the second or so, throw your hustle lineup out there. Early in the third, later in the third or somewhere, throw your hustle lineup out there. Because those guys are going to force teams to work. They're going to be there every time. They don't have this superstar mentality of, let me jog back. It's always a hustle. It's always a work. It's always, you know what I'm saying? I love that about those guys, man. So that's and I totally just made that up in my head, that lineup, but I think I just want to see that one day. That's a lineup I would love to see. I would call that my hustle lineup, because those are the guys that, you know what, when your team is dragging, just throw your hustle lineup out there, lift it up. When that team right there keep this team that lineup keep the team afloat when they're dragging. Just put your hustle lineup out there. All right, I'm gonna get off of that. LeBron James had a quiet 21. He did have a big three towards the end of that game there, but he had a quiet 21. Only took 12 shots, 5 of 12, 2 of 6 from the 3-point line, 9 of 11. Now we criticized LeBron by the free throw shooting, but he was the one that stepped up towards the end of the game and asked for the ball and sat there and knocked down his free throws at the end of the game to go and ice the thing. So hats off to LeBron for that. Anthony Davis had 25, 10 of 14, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. So he did his thing, but again, you ain't seeing jump out performances. You got 16 from Schroeder, 11 for Caldwell Pope, which I'm really hoping he kind of get back going. It seemed like he's been a little sluggish. He was like on fire at one point, and then it kind of tapered off, and now it seemed like he's trying to get it rebalanced and get back going. But yeah, we're gonna see how all that go, man. But hey, a win is a win. And guys, make sure you be checking out for me tomorrow. I'm gonna see what this Clipper Nets game look like. Flip Bayless has decided that this is the finals preview. We'll see. Whatever, guy. Yeah, so we'll see. But with that being said, man, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Continue to support the channel. I love you guys. Until next time, you guys be great, man.